Welcome to the program, Jaffa Tonda, the
Thank
top
you.
dog at Synergy Properties.
Thank you, Simon.
Just run us through what's Synergy Properties.
Synergy Properties is a real estate development company with a focus on incremental housing.
When you say incremental housing, what do you mean?
I could say in Ghana, we're Zimbe Mpola Mpola.
Aha. So just break it down for you exactly what you do. So you buy land, facilitate your customers to acquire the land, and then what follows?
The very first step for us is identifying areas which have high growth potential.
Wow.
Yes, so we do lots of studies in regards to that, and then we acquire the land. We make sure the land has no encumbrances, and if there are any, we work with the sellers to resolve them. After we buy the land, we partition the land into smaller units, smaller plots. That's part of the ambition to make the land more affordable for our customers, and then we demarcate the land into plots of different sizes, starting from what most people call 50 by 100, to 100 by 100, to I've done some projects where I've done 1 acre, 5 acres. And then after we do that, we do things like plant trees along the roads, because we have part of our ambition is not to do sustainable projects. And then we give our customers free house plans that we've developed over the years. And then we provide construction support services for those who are ready to build, meaning when a person has some money, they send to us, and you can start from the foundation, buying sand, open up an account for them and support them and help them build Mpola.
If I get you right, it means that I could wire you money for purchase of a plot I've only seen on an illustration.
Yes.
And the next thing, long story short, I'm just walking into a finished and complete house.
Yes, I mean, over the years, we've been in business for over 16 years, and we pride ourselves on being genuine developers. So yes, we have a number of customers. I would say the majority of our customers, we serve people not only here, but the diaspora market as well. They'll do research on our company. They find that we're a genuine company. They'll send us their money. We'll help them secure the land, help them to the title transfer process, and then support them in their home construction. And we also have customers who, for them, it's mostly land banking. So again, we help them secure their land to make sure the customers don't build on their plot while they are away.
Land banking means just buy a plot of land, just keep it there, keep my money in there, wait for appreciation, either to build later or to sell later.
Yes, exactly.
But when you say you've been in business for 16 years, just run us through some of the things and projects that you have done, so that maybe then we can have, you can put a face to the claim.
Okay, thank you. So during these years, we started off by doing high-end homes, but then we found that the feedback and the general appetite in the market was properties that were more affordable. And so we went ahead and experimented with homes which we felt were on the lower price point. Homes as, let's say, at about 120 million. And we found that the customers were still challenged with those, mostly because of our income levels of our target market, which is young working professionals. But then also the interest rates on our mortgages are quite high. So that's partly how we came up with this concept of incremental housing. We've done projects in different areas within Greater Kampala. By Greater Kampala, it's typically a radius of about 30 kilometers from.
We're talking about Kwachiso, Mukono, and Kampala as we know it.
Yes, and also some parts of Lower actually, approximate. So we've done in Kira, we've done a number of projects in Gayaza, in Nansana. We've gone as far as Semoto. The list is endless. Any different, parts of Greater Kampala.
So now, when you talk about the projects you have done and your models, and then that greening aspect that you have, just for one to close their eyes and imagine what an estate by Synergy Properties looks like, just paint for us a picture.
When I think of our Synergy estate, I think about that whole feel of living in a mini forest. We really do. We work in partnership with actually NFA. And yeah, the NFA supports us with seedlings. I mean, they'll typically provide us some indigenous seedlings. We typically purchase fruit trees from them. So we do a blend and we infuse this project with so many trees. That way, we envision that in the future, people's children will be able to walk along the roads and have seen it right now and have shade and be able to pick fruit. So we have anything from taferi to guavas.
Fene, that's my favorite fruit.
Plenty of fene, plenty of mangoes. So yeah, we want build communities where people can breathe.
I love the word build communities, because what we have, for the most part, are incredible homes, but bad neighborhoods. So how do you blend the two to ensure that people have beautiful homes and a good neighborhood?
Yes.
One, you told me you have a gated community kind of approach.
Yeah.
And then what else? What other amenities we find in there?
So, part of something called the ESG framework, environmental, social, and governance.
Governance, yes.
So, for everyone who buys land in our projects becomes part of the respective housing community. So, we don't sell land to anyone unless you're willing to be part of that community.
Community, yes.
Yes, and the communities come with actually guidelines and even constitutions. So, right from the inception, I'll give you an example. We have a community called Mosizi Estate, and so every single community will give it like a WhatsApp group. So
and
people,
a name.
Yes. So usually we like pick names from our, African setting. So in there we have a WhatsApp group where members join. And then every single person, part of the purchase agreement, they agree to be part of that association. So members are able to come together to self-govern their communities. I'll give you an example. We have communities whereby people need to have a greater patch to the roads again, and the community is fundraising towards that. Also, those things like the trees actually are jointly owned by all the members.
So you don't just wake up and do whatever you want simply because you're within your own plot.
Yes, exactly.
You respect the fact that you live in a community.
Yes. And I've seen that work. I remember a few years ago I was staying in one of the communities, and a member was playing music really late, and refusing actually to turn it down. So I went to their party and actually asked them to reduce, and they refused. And I remember I switched off the speaker and I took it. And I remember the DJ asking me that, you're doing this as who? And I told him, and I'm the chairperson of this community, and we have certain guidelines, So that's a framework we like to create whereby people can come together and have a bit of order. And so our company attracts customers, that people that want order.
The latest and biggest project that you have at the moment within the smaller radius of Greater Kampala is what you've called the Acacia Hilltop Estate in Kisoga off Mukono.
Yes.
Again, it's a prospective, futuristic setting.
Yes.
Great view of the lake and greenery untamed. Just tell us, what do you think, or what do you envisage this place to look like? Say 5 years from today.
So people have to take note about something interesting about Mukono. Of in the first place is why Mukono. So part of the development plans of the government of Uganda is an expressway that's going to run from Mukono
Jinja to Kampala via Mukono.
And so I envision a community that's once again green. I mean, we have really wide roads on the project, which is standard of our communities. And again, with there, what I envisioned was people enjoying a nice breeze. It's hilltop, nice views, nice breeze. So yeah, I mean, I see. I'm quite excited as to how the community will look like in the future.
How big is this place we're talking about? How big will the community look like?
This particular project started with 10 acres. With an ambition to keep on buying the adjacent pieces of land, so that hopefully we can keep on growing.
Keep on growing.
Yes, that's how we typically go around it. The outperformance, by the way.
Is it the same kind of target market that you're looking at, or are you now stretching it perhaps to the more niched market, like maybe the diaspora people and things like that?
It's quite open. It's quite open. Most of the interest we've had so far has been the diaspora. I think they are kind of resonating with our appeal, and references, knowing that we're a genuine company and you won't buy fake land. You won't buy air. Yeah.
And that you don't need a brother or sister to keep siphoning money from you in the pretext of construction management. Yet, synergy can.
And then also for Ugandans staying here who actually make time to come and visit our projects. The reality is the majority of them always want to buy. They're like, wow, we didn't know that you guys guys were doing this because they too appreciate the systems and the order and the greenery.
So this Acacia Hilltop is really quintessentially fitting within your ideals, your ethos of greening, community,
Yes.
proper amenities, shared spaces,
Yes.
and the like.
Yes.
So are you already now up with planting of trees? You've told us you're widening roads. What about the other amenities like electricity, water lines? Do they get serviced before the customers get in?
Yeah, so with water and power lines, we actually work in partnership with the utility companies, and indeed we've engaged Umeme. The line's actually quite close. It's about maybe 3 poles away. So yeah, that work is underway to pull the lines. In regards to water, there's National Water did a pipeline. Is it from Katosi?
Yeah, from Katosi up
into
to
Kampala.
Sonde.
Yes, and so what they're doing is they're now feeding the towns in
Along the way.
Yes, with water. They have recently completed a town called Ntenjeru, and their next target is actually Chisoga. So a lot of the utilities is in partnership with the utility companies, and indeed they have, the National Water has an interest in serving that community because that's where the water is coming from. Yeah, so naturally the community was like, guys, we need to be piped up because the water is coming from here.
You can be taking a huge pipeline of water from our community, and we are just speaking from a borehole.
Yes, yeah. So that area, it's quite, it has a high growth potential. It's that roundabout where actually you turn off and get onto the Ginger Expressway.
The Ginger and Njeru Road.
Yes.
Great. Now that we know the aesthetics, let's get down to the specifics.
Yes.
How big are the plots in there? How much they cost? How can we pay for them?
So the plots, the smaller size is 50 by 100. That's typically about 11.5 decimals. And then the next size over is 100 by 100, which is 23 decimals. What some people do is people who want more will, buy adjacent plots. That way they can
merge them together.
And merge them together, or just keep them separate. We have a number of our customers buy with a vision of being able to have their kids inherit things. Yeah, so even where a person wants
so you buy 3 adjacent plots.
Yes. Even where a person, let's say, wants to buy one bigger lot of 100 by 100, they'll want to buy 2 and next to each other. That way they can be able to have the different kids or beneficiaries inherit these. And then in terms of the price point, the 50 by 100 plots are starting at 20 million.
Ooh.
They're 20 million Uganda shillings, and the 100 by 100 are 40 million. We do provide flexible payment terms though. Whereby
How do you do this?
So we sit down with each customer and we work out customized payment plans for them. We have, some of our customers have the traditional employment where their salaries are fixed. We have our customers who are
hustlers,
who are in the informal sector, whereby their payments are dependent on the contracts that may come in. So we do sit down with each person. They make a deposit and we work with them to be able to afford the pieces of land.
But that now puts you beyond just a property developer. Now you are becoming an enabler for property acquisition.
Yes.
And when you go beyond that, then you become an enabler for construction and development on the property. And then you also go into securing people's properties, especially those who are out of this place. Isn't that a little bit too much to bite and chew in what is otherwise an unregulated business space?
Well, first, the government is moving us to be more regulated.
Or is futuristic?
Yes, moving us to be more regulated. To be honest, for me, it's more of a passion. I wake up every day and I don't feel like I'm going to work.
Oh.
Yes. I like serving customers in this space. I like meeting that customer, especially where it's their first piece of land that they are buying. I like meeting those young couples who are so excited to go into that journey.
Oh, yes.
I like providing that 360, spectrum so that people can eventually be able to own their homes. So honestly, for me, I don't feel like it's work. It's a passion. And I think that's the difference also sets Synergy Properties aside from some other players, whereby for them it might just be more of the return, the financial return. Like for us, it really is a passion.
I've heard some testimony from some of your very satisfied clients saying that, this is not just dealing with a company, you're dealing with people with a soul and they're always in there. But let's get down to something even more interesting. A bit away from development. There's some people who prefer to, you call it land banking?
Yes.
But you're land banking in a gated community where others are developing.
Yes.
As time goes by, your place is prone to bush following,
yes.
may become habitat to vermine, and maybe for some areas could even be a security black spot. How do you manage such pockets of land banked pieces of land that are not up for development but are within your gated communities?
Well, what's happening right now is, again, because of the governance aspect of the housing associations. So we have some communities whereby actually people pay a monthly retainer. Everyone, yes, to make
like
sure,
a service fee.
Yes, service fee to make sure the community is always looking spotless. We have those which are typically those which are more out of town, and people are waiting a bit longer for the places to develop and appreciate. So on the platforms, we usually tell people, hey, you know what, guys, we need to do a round of fundraising so that we can be able to maintain the grounds. So people come together and raise funds to maintain the grounds, like. Sometimes the frequency really varies, like twice a year, once a year, but it's part of the framework of the from that housing association aspect. Really helps to ensure that the places are maintained, and that really sets us apart from other players.
Other players.
Yes.
Wow. Now you're big on greening, and you're unapologetic as much.
Yes.
You want to get your property and divide it up, and rather than maximize every single decimal, you as a business are willing to cede some decimals for the greater public good.
Yes.
Is that something about business ethic, or is something so deliberate and intentional on your part that we need to know the rationale behind it?
I think it comes from two aspects. One is awareness of the challenges that the world faces, like climate change. So for us as a business, we're like, if we're doing these housing communities, what can we do to make sure that we sustain the ecology on our projects?
Or make your humble contribution to the tranquil existence of the world.
Now, the reality is land developers, which is where we fall, we really do harm the environment when we're developing, because we get these bulldozers and graders and we raise up the entire place.
Ground zero.
Yes, so it's actually an injustice to the environment for us to do projects and just leave without working to restore.
At Acacia, in fact, I noticed that you have left some original trees in the area standing.
Yes. So even when our company, even when we're developing the site, we ensure that we preserve as many of the trees on the site as possible. So versus the typical tradition or modus operandi in Uganda, whereby people just want to graze and raise the entire project.
Tell me something. Something continues to intrigue me with regard to the business of land and property.
Yes.
There's always that guy called the broker. The blocker.
Yes.
With numbers plastered all over places.
Yeah.
And there's always a percentage of your purchase price that has to go to him in terms of commission and all that. When I'm dealing with Synergy Properties and you're dealing with you in terms of even land or even house purchase, where does the blocker come in from?
Well, we have some customers reach us directly, then others go through brokers. I actually started out as a broker, and I did it purposefully to
understand the back end,
to understand the business. So they are a valuable addition to our business, because you can't reach everyone, but they build their own businesses in that arena, and they also do their research to understand the developers who are genuine and those who are not. So we work in partnership with them as well.
Well, now we're talking way into the 90s, 80s, and the early 2000s, but now the broker happens to be your website, your social media handles.
Yeah.
Just break down for us some of these. Can we say they're going to be on the screen right below us? And the interactive part of your engagement with your customers, beyond the fact that I've bought from Synergy Properties, I'm told there is a consistent back and forth in terms of communication and a support system on the back end. Just take us through that.
So we did this framework of relationship management. Yes. So each of our customers actually has
a relationship manager.
You have a relationship manager.
Wow.
that holds their hand and supports them after they paid for when they're paying for the land. Just guiding them. Please pay on this account. When they're finished making a payment, ensuring that they receive their receipt right away. Ensuring that all the purchase agreements have been executed. Just basically we hold their hand along the way, and even after they have bought. Those who want that construction, those who want to resell the plots later on, we help
identify best buy
That's where
prospects?
actually our network of brokers comes in. And we have a wide network. We even have like a WhatsApp group between us and
the brokers.
And the brokers. So usually we inform our brokers that, hey, you know what, we have this customer who wants to resell their plot. And I think it's driven by the passion that we have for the business. First, it's more of just working together with the customers to really harness and optimize and make sure we're giving them good customer value.
Well, don't make it sound like it's always so rosy between you and the customers.
Yeah.
And for many reasons, unintended and unnatural,
Yes.
some things fall through the cracks. What happens when there's default, when there's inability to honor the other side of the bargain and
Yeah.
time is running by?
Yeah.
How do you handle some of those difficult conversations?
To be honest, I mean, it happens to all of us where, sometimes in a transaction, then you get some shortfalls. So again, because it's relationship driven, some customers will ask that please allow me more time. I'll be able to complete the payment. Then we also have some customers where they're unable to continue with the transaction, and with those usually we'll resell to other people and we will give them
And return the balance.
a refund. Although there's usually like
A surcharge.
a fee. I think it's negotiated usually about like 3 to 5%, just to kind of like encourage people to ensure that when they enter into transactions, they're committed as well.
To hold the
Yes,
commitment on
yes,
both ends.
Yes, but yeah, typically, the truth is it hardly ever happens. Like usually we will allow people more time, and even those, if it's really, really genuine, something genuinely happened, we even typically waive that surcharge.
Beyond residential engagements or enclaves that you're making, I'm also told that Synergy has gone into virgin areas like Nakasongola, bought stretches of land, and you are now building communal village spaces of sorts, like the usual Manyata kind of arrangement, but of course at a larger scale with a bit of greening around it. Just paint a picture of what's happening there.
So when I started out with greening the estates, I didn't realize that I would escalate my passion for trees to a to a heightened level. And then I was inspired by, I guess the more I educated myself about Uganda's loss of forest cover, I became more and more passionate about how can I use my talent and skills to heal Mother Earth. We read notes about Uganda's forest cover. I'm told it's now hovering at maybe like 10% or slightly less. Decreasing. Although again, the Ministry of Water and Environment has done, they're doing measures to try and restore. So I was like, what can we do? So we set up a community in Nakasongola where we developed much larger pieces of land. And with that, it's an issue of economies of scale and helping people be able to save money while planting trees. So with that, again, people bought pieces of land. We help them plant trees. And so how it helps people save money is instead of you, Simon, having to drive yourself every single weekend to check on your trees and everything, we have a management system there, a management team like with foresters and contractors that helps people.
So you can always get reports as opposed to going there physically.
Yes, so they get monthly reports that, hey, at your trees are like this. At any one time, they get pictures. We have some customers who have started building their homes inside there.
Using the same timber from the trees they planted.
Not yet, because the trees are still growing, but kind of like, it's interesting. When we started, that was mostly like a thing about forestry, and then we realized there was a huge need among people of many people like, hey, Sina country home. Other people like Sina Nzika, we have family drama where I'm from. So they're like, in the midst of the trees, can't I have my simple structure there? Can't my family be, people be buried there and I step away from, the family drama I may be coming from. So we planned out the community where there's like areas that are industrial, to where I want to set up the eventual like wood workshops to make sure our customers like harness value from their trees. Areas where there's planned heavy residential areas, cottages. It has drawn in tourists. We now have tourists come inside there to ride their bikes. But it all started off from a synergy, us wanting to work harder to contribute to the effort to reforest Mother Earth.
Looks like Synergy Properties is not just a property company, but you're going into something bigger in sustainability spaces and that. Jaffa, is there anything that you'd want us to know about Synergy Properties, Acacia Hilltop Properties, or any other of your ventures that we haven't talked about so far?
I would just encourage people to just look us up on the socials, on YouTube, on our website. Google Synergy Properties, you find our website. And then reach out to us via the communication channels. The phone number, the emails are listed. Reach out to us if you want an experience that's genuine. So if you want an experience where you won't worry,
no drama
about getting your land title, it always hurts me especially when I travel, the diaspora, environs, and you find many people who are in tears, whereby they're
saying, "Man, I bought land; it was air."
Yes. So if you want a genuine product in a well-organized community, please reach out to us.
Incredible. Where we see you going next? I mean, we've seen that you have gone Mukonowards. We've seen that you are now getting bigger and better in terms of greening and sustainability. What are your future prospects looking like from where you sit?
Well, we keep following the infrastructure.
So you keep following where the government plan is. You're looking at the National Development Plan 4 now, and saying this is where we need to be.
Yes, so we keep, always reviewing those UNRWA, road reports. There's an interest. I know government wants to do a train that connects all the way from Bush. It's called the SGR.
SGR, yes.
Yeah, the SGR. There are all kinds of roads planned in that Luero, Zorobe area. We always look. We anticipate infrastructure development, and then that's where we go.
So, are you maintaining yourself in the Greater Kampala area? Also, are you looking at prospects in the other new cities as is being created by government? So, you try out something in Gulu, try out something in Arua, try out something in Barara, something in Mbale, so that you have a footprint in almost every corner of the country.
Yes, that's the ambition. Maybe we're limited by capacity. Maybe my sons will be able to, or other people can come be part of us. It's a human capital challenge. So if we can have more people come and they're passionate and they're willing to join us, then we can be able to venture out all these towns.
You're a new breed of property developers. Those ones never fear danger in terms of expansion. They move where the money is.
So I like to welcome younger people who are in these towns like Mbale or Fort Portal. Reach out to us. Let's do work together, because we can't be everywhere. I think it's partly how the name Synergy comes.
That's where Synergy comes in as well. Let's work together, bring in all the ideas, come from wherever it is, and let's build a brand together.
Yes.
Wow, Jaffa Tonda, thank you very much for joining us, and it's a wrap.
Thank you very much.